This is a journey into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimension, new values, and a new experience.
Welcome to the G-Spot Podcast. I'm your guide, Katie Silcox, bringing you your weekly self-love soundbite. Join us for conversations around sex, spirit, and all things self-care. All things self-care. All things self-care.
This is a journey into sound.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
You are a G-Spot Podcast with Katie Silcox.
Hey, beautiful G-Spot listeners. I am excited about today's podcast for you. I did a recording last week. We launched our level 2 Ayurveda school, and I did a really special practice with the gals. It was 5 techniques that we use to balance and usually downregulate the nervous system. So they're really useful. They're 2-3 minutes each. And so I wanted to provide those for the listeners of the G-Spot because I've been doing these little practices every day and sometimes a few times throughout the day because they're only 2 or 3 minutes each. And I've really found that they just help me stay really centered and really in the resource and the safety that is my body. And I can't think of any better thing to be doing with any extra time that you have on your hands. So I wanted to get you this little practice. I hope you guys really enjoy it, and I hope you are staying well. Much love. So we're going to do 5 practices that help us regulate the nervous system and help us really become this firm inner when life outside can really feel like a chaotic place. That we look less to those outside places for our authority, and we begin to find that we have that inner resiliency and authority inside in our body, no matter what's going on. So the first thing we're going to do is really simple. It's just you're going to take one of your hands and put it on your heart. And notice the difference between a moment ago when you did not have your hand on your heart and right now that you do have your hand on your heart. And again, like as I do it, my body starts to do this impulse to give a little sway. And I'm not trying to make that happen, but as you feel, if there's an impulse to maybe nod your head, maybe sway, just let yourself really follow that impulse. Another beautiful option and variation on this, it's like a mother to a baby where you can rub the heart, rub the chest area. Just a little hand stroking the heart. And just go ahead and do that for a few minutes as a meditation. Thoughts may come in, and you can differentiate, oh, that's a thought. And this is the sensation or experience of my hand on my heart. And then let the heart just move away. Intentionally take your hand away and notice that feels different, right? Feels different. And just feel what it feels like not to have your hand on your heart. And then now being very mindful, let your hand come back to the heart and feel how that just feels different. And how is it different? And ask yourself, okay, I noticed that it's different. How is it different? What is it that putting my hand on my heart really does here? What does it bring into the field for me? What is it like to feel like to have my hand on my heart? Very good. Nice. So that may be the one that you want and you need. We're going to do another one. You can always come back to these at your own time. This one is a variation on the mantra Om. It's the mantra Vu. And so we've done this last year a little bit, but it's V, U, 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 U. Vu. So just take a moment and try that with me. Vu. One more. Vu. And then notice the residual effect of the sound in the body. This helps tonify that ventral vagal nerve. Rest and digest. Easy does it. And that may be exactly the medicine, but we're going to add on to it. And so one of the things, and this is great for working with creating boundaries, and right now we want to have good health boundaries. It's everyone's obsession right now is good health boundaries. But there's also this sense of, even if there isn't a virus around you, or even if you got it already, there's this sense in the collective of a boundary violation, right? We're all kind of walking around feeling like something's getting in. And so whether or not that's happening, the nervous system is interpreting a boundary violation. And so what the next thing that we're going to do does is it reestablishes a sense of boundariedness. And so I'll show you, maybe watch me and listen, and then you can try it on your own. So I'm going to hold my hands up in front of me, kind of, I think of like a tiger having her paws up. And then just like a cat can take its claws in, you can close your hands, and then the kitty cat can take its claws out. Yeah, very nice. So just practice that. Imagine the big cat's kind of roar, right? Saying, it's communicating, a roar, right? A roar means you shouldn't come any closer, right? And so we're going to combine the vu with a roar, but it's very subtle. We want it to be really soothing and easing on the nervous system. So no big crazy roars, right? And so in my body, it's going to look and sound something like this. And as I vu roar, I'm going to open up the hands, the claws are going to open up and press away, or whatever feels right for your hands to do. So let's try that together. And as you roar, the mouth will open. Let the mouth be very gentle, but let it roar and open. Let's do a few more rounds. You can go at your own pace. After you've done one or two more, let your hands come down and just notice what it's like now. Very nice. Very nice. And this may be a really good medicine. It's great anytime you feel that there's been a boundary violation, any kind of boundary violation. So now we're going to do a practice called the half salamander. And we've done it before in Ayurveda school, but we're going to just let the right ear drop to the right shoulder really gently. and begin to feel the differentiation through the stretch in the neck between your head and your left shoulder. You don't have to press hard, not a lot of effort. And now let your eyes simply slow look over towards your right shoulder, down to the right shoulder. And feel the differentiation now between the eyes and the neck and the shoulder. Now as you hold this, you may 60 to 90 seconds notice a little yawn or sigh, just some sort of physical indication that there may have been a shift. When you feel that shift, or even if you don't, after about 60 to 90 seconds, just let the head come back, and this is where you really want to find that medicine. Notice how it feels to come back to center, what's here now. Nice, really nice, guys. Okay. Left ear to left shoulder. Really feel the differentiation, eyeballs, side of my neck, and the right shoulder. And you may feel a shift, a yawn, a sigh, just some indication. And once you feel that, come back to center. And notice, really give your eyes time here. We're working with the reticular activating system as well as the vagal nerve. The reticular activating system is behind the eyes and helps us modulate a lot of things like our hormones, metabolism, our circadian rhythms. We're just resetting that a little bit. And you don't have to worry and think too much about that. Just notice the medicine that's here and really give yourself permission to soak like a little sponge in the resource that thank you is showing up in our body. Our body is always sending us signals of ease and safety when there's no true threat. And in this moment, there is no threat here now. And then we're going to let our eyes open. And when an animal comes out of fight, flight, and freeze, when an animal comes out of freeze, better said, the little bunny, when it's, oh, I'm scared. New York Times. I read too much of the New York Times, right? We freeze. And guess what, you guys? Human beings on this planet right now, way before coronavirus, were in freeze, many of us a lot of the time. When we daydream, we go into freeze. When you have imaginings in your mind, you've ever noticed you're staring out the window and you're thinking about the future and you've literally been frozen, and someone says to you, "Where'd you go?" The nervous system's in freeze. If you're a writer, an artist, we tend to go into freeze really easily because we're in that mental realm of imagination. There's nothing wrong with it. It's an incredible aspect of our being. But it's when we live in that place of what if and future tripping and that we're constantly sending ourselves into freeze. So when a little bunny comes out of freeze, the first thing she does is she moves her ears, right? And I don't think most of us can move our ears, right? We've lost that capacity. And what is the second thing that the bunny does? She turns her head super slow from side to side. So she's listened and now she's going to look. And so what I want you to do is just really slowly let your head turn left and right. And the slower the better, but not too slow. Just right. And take in the world and you'll see, oh, I'm okay. Things look pretty good right here, right now. There's no threat to the bunny. Things are pretty good. In fact, they're pretty great. In fact, they may even be wonderful, blissful. Very good. Very nice. And so we can do this for a few minutes or even just a few seconds. And how we doing? Good. So the last one we'll do just a little bit of inside-outside awareness. And we're orienting. I saw someone yawn. Paige, very good. Down-regulating, that's nice. Inside-outside for pleasure. So we're strategically using our attention to notice things. And look, there's going to be things inside of us that feel tense, that don't feel good, that may feel actually really scary or numb, etc. And it's not that we're repressing that or denying that, but the pull of the scary, or the pull of the numb, the pull of trauma, etc. is seductive. It's way more seductive than the pull of what's right. That's why Krishna calls Arjuna to the battlefield, right? It's challenging, right? It's so easy to go into fear and loss of hope. So what we're going to do is begin to tune and attune our attention to things outside of us that are really good or even great. Or if you can't find anything outside of you, I doubt that, right? But if there's nothing outside of you that you really like, at least things that are neutral. Similarly, we're going to go inside. And so what inside of my body feels good or even great or at ease? And hands are a good place. Hands are usually a pretty neutral or positive place, but you have a whole body to work with. And there can be times where people say there's just nothing that feels good. And in that case, what feels neutral or less not good, the less bad rather. So let's just do that. So we're going to just take a moment and I want you to notice, let your eyes go where they want to go. And without forcing them, my eyes just went right over. I have a big water bottle and it's got a spout that has a really beautiful blue color. And to the left of that is a box of sparkling water. Oops, I just let you guys know. No. Vata waters, I call them. There's a box of Vata waters, that's my guilty pleasure, that has a blue strip. So I just described that to you. I don't know why. My eyes really found that pleasurable. Now, go around your room and rather than you telling your body what you think it's going to like, you let your body tell you what it actually is drawn to and does like. And it'll be the medicine. And that medicine can change from day to day or moment to moment. And you found one thing outside, and then gentle, let yourself bring your attention inside. And that's going to be different. And the eyes can stay open or they can close. What feels good on the inside? And so for my body, just talking to you guys, and like, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I'm very intentionally using something called a prosodic voice. And it's my voice, but it's a different voice than the teaching voice. And so that prosodic nature of your voice, you can strategically use that with people and yourself. And just hearing my own voice talking to you guys is like a lullaby to all of us, hopefully. I can feel there's a wave-like quality moving through my body. There's a rocking-like quality, like a mama to a baby. And that's my experience. And what do you feel? There may be a river of ease. There may be just my hands feel capable and strong. I don't know. I'm giving you some examples. My legs, they feel firm and grounded. Notice the resource inside and just be with that for a moment. And before you can get caught into outside thought, because it'll happen pretty quick, that what's wrong attention is very seductive, we move our awareness outside again. And so now look around the room. What do you like? And it may also be something you like to touch, something tactile. I'm on a really nice furry rug. The feel of the yoga pants I'm wearing is kind of nice. What outside of me is really great or just okay, good enough. Really nice, guys. And we're going to do one more pulsation. Let's go inside again. Find what feels right. Easy, pleasurable. And let yourself really enjoy it. One of my teachers, Steve Hoskinson, says your job is enjoyment. That's your job right now. Feels so good. And then if you notice yourself going into thoughts, go back out. So let's try that. Now pendulate to the outside world. As I look around, I saw a book on the counter. It says healing tonics, and there's an orange slice. And my body said, yeah, look at that. Really nice, guys. Great. And then we'll come back to a focus, light gaze back to your computer. And we'll come out of these little practices.
Pote phulla pon sukhe pote phulla